The clawbacks were most common among Black and Hispanic recipients, highlighting racial disparities in how these policies are applied. Well, Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's update is very important for anyone who receives social security benefits. The Trump administration has just made a major rule change that could affect millions of Americans. In this video, I'll explain exactly what the change is, who it will affect, why it's happening, and how it actually be a good thing for many social security recipients. To make sure you watch this video all the way through, so you don't miss any key details. And before we dive in, all I ask is that you take just 2 seconds to hit the like button. It helps a lot with getting this information out of more people. Well, let's get started. What is the big change? The Trump administration has decided to pull back from a controversial policy, the 100% withholding of Social Security payments to recover past overpayments. Here is what that means in simple terms. If the Social Security Administration SSA had overpaid someone in the past, whether because of a paperwork error or a failure to report changes in income or a living situation, they had the power to take back 100% of person's future monthly check until the money was repaid. But imagine if someone normally gets $2,000 per month in benefits. If the SSA said that a person was overpaid by $2,500 in the past, they could take the full $2,000 check 1 month and then take $500 from the next month's check, leaving the person with just $1,500 for that month. For many seniors and people with disabilities, that's devastating. Most rely on every dollar from Social Security to survive, to pay for food, rent, medications, gas, or even basic things like soap and electricity. Why the change happened? Let's talk about it. According to reports, the SSA made around $72 billion in improper payments between 2015 and 2022. These are payments made by mistake, somewhere because of SSA's own administrative errors, while others were due to people not reporting changes in income or work where they live or family size. The SSA now trying to recover that $72 billion. However, many feel that withholding 100% of someone's benefits just to get the money back is unfair and harmful. The Trump administration heard the backlash and is now changing course. Now, what is the new policy? 100% withholding instead of 50% withholding instead of 100%. In a recent emergency message sent to staff, the Social Security Administration announced it will no longer take 100% of a recipient's check to recover overpayments. Instead, they will now withhold just 50% of each monthly benefit payment until the overpaid payment is paid back. Let's go back to the earlier example. If someone was overpaid by $2,500 and normally receives $2,000 a month, instead of taking the full $2,000 in 1 month, the SSA will now only take $1,000, and that is 50%. That means the person will still receive $1,000 each month until the overpayment is fully repaid. This change gives people some breathing room, so they are not left with zero income for a month or more. Well, now, why some say 50% is still too much? Let's talk about. While cutting back to 50% is better than 100%, some advocates argue it's still too much, especially for those living on a fixed income. Well, here is a comparison. Under the Biden administration, the clawback was limited to just 10% of a recipient's monthly check. And now under the Trump administration, it's going up to 50%, which is a big jump. Well, why the increase? Inflation is one major reason. Costs are rising across the board: groceries, rent, fuel, and utilities. And upcoming tariffs expected in July could drive prices even higher. The government needs ways to recover lost funds without adding to the national deficit. But many are worried this new 50% policy will still be too harsh for vulnerable Americans. Well, the most important, who is most affected? Well, the group most affected by these overpayments is people who receive a supplemental security income, SSI. According to the data, SSI had an overpayment rate of 8% of all benefits. In contrast, retirement and disability benefits had a much lower overpayment rate of 0.5%. Well, why the big difference? Many SSI recipients don't realize that they are required to report changes immediately, like a change in how much they make at their job, and a change in where they live, especially if their housing becomes cheaper. And if they move in with someone like a roommate, or if a dependent child turns 18 and is no longer accounted as a qualifying household member. Not reporting these changes can lead to months or even years of overpayments, and sadly, many recipients don't realize it's even happening until the SSA asks for the money back, sometimes years later. I'll talk about the eye-opening investigation. Yes, a 2023 investigation by a KFF Health News and Cox Media Group found that over 2 million people a year were having their checks docked due to overpayments. That's more than twice the number of SSA told Congress. And the clawbacks were most common among black and Hispanic recipients, highlighting racial disparities in how these policies are applied. This has raised concerns about fairness, communication, and the burden being placed on low income and minority communities. Can the government just forgive the debt? No, the answer is some experts and advocates believe the government should go even further, maybe even forgive a large portion of the $72 billion in overpayments. After all, many of the mistakes were not the fault of the beneficiaries. If the SSA itself made errors, is it fair to punish the people who rely on that money just to survive? It's an ongoing conversation, and lawmakers are starting to pay attention. What happens next? Right now, the new rule to withhold 50% instead of 100% is active. But this could still change again, especially if it becomes clear that even 50% is too much for many Americans. The bottom line is stay informed. These changes can come fast and they affect real lives. As always, I'll be watching the situation closely and will bring you updates as soon as anything new happens. Well, now, uh, uh, To quickly summarize the things, the Trump administration has stopped the 100% withholding policy for the Social Security overpayments, and they will now withhold only 50% of your check until the amount is paid back. And this is a big relief for many people, but some still say it's too much high. And most overpayments happen due to unreported changes in income, housing, or family size, especially in social security supplementary income. Over 2 million Americans are affected every year. I'll keep watching to see if any more changes are made. Thanks for watching. If you find this update helpful, please give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more social security news and updates. Thanks for watching.